Should you be using WordPress in 2025? And if you don't know, this is like the legacy website builder that often digital marketers and businesses alike used to build their platforms, their digital platforms online for many years. But now a lot of stiff competition is coming in. The landscape has changed online. AI has come in to the forefront and really automated like the whole idea of web design to where like you don't need to hire or outsource web designers anymore necessarily. You can also do it yourself much more easily because there's much more technology out there, even in simple like usable platforms that are free like Canva. And also it is great because like you're able to work with you can use AI to help create your website and not have to get the photos and copyright and all that and have to pay expensive things like Shutterstock, for example, or Adobe. You can just do it all really cheap, bootstrap, and really easily. And if you don't want to do it, you can have AI create it for you. That's for another video, but I just thought I'd break down and finally show you WordPress is still worth it, which is kind of like the flagship, was the flagship, and still to some degree is of website builders. So let's get started. So as you can see here, this is my website. I have an agency called Next Level Metro Agency, and I used to use WordPress for a long time. Still use it, but I've been thinking about, should I be keeping it on there? Well, let's delve into the reasons why yes and why other alternatives might be better. For starters, if you want, like, if you've been doing this for a while and you know the ins and outs of WordPress, which by the way, WordPress itself has changed. You can actually simplify it too. There's called Classic WordPress on here, and you can actually use a plugin, which if you don't know a plugin, it's kind of like an add-on to a website to adjust or do any things you need to do. So like for example, like there's one that's called Classic Edition, which is kind of like the way WordPress was done before, more or less, like Classic Editor. That's what I meant to say. Just like to basically do the edits of your pages and all that stuff more easily. If you've been doing this pre like 2018 or so, I believe. Like for example, I have a website or page right here for let's just do the home page. You see, so if you see here, this edit interface will show a classic, I guess, version of WordPress, and many people are like, old dogs you can't teach an old dog new tricks, so to speak. And I guess that's the idiom I'm trying to use to to communicate that oftentimes people want to just stick with what they've been doing, and that's okay. That's one way to do it. But here's the thing. What's great about WordPress is that it's often included with a lot of hosting companies like SiteGround. You got your GoDaddies. You got WPX Hosting, which is kind of probably one of the top tier hosting companies. I don't get paid, by the way, for this. I'm just going off of like research, experience, and yeah, really that. What's great about this is that, and I know it's taking forever. Apologies because I'm in a car using a personal hotspot, so internet's slow. What's great about it? It's free. It's open source WordPress, and by the way, I'm using a plugin called Divi Builder, so just don't let that like intimidate you or whatever. It's what's great about WordPress actually is you could use a bunch of themes out there to change the interface slightly or to be able to customize web design more easily to your liking. That's what I did years ago. And that's what's great about WordPress is that you have thousands of themes and plugins out there. It's free, it's open source, great for SEO and setting things up right. There's an actual plugin called Yoast SEO. I recommend downloading it so you can control your on-page and off-page, which we can go through that another time. And it's a huge community and tutorials out there. It's great. It's everywhere. It's so much blogs and so on and so forth. So that's WordPress. That's WordPress in a nutshell. Let's go through the other ones, or let's go through the cons as to why it might not be right for you. Which, if you know, this is like kind of like the interface is one reason why. So, as we were saying with WordPress, I mean, it's a matter of really knowing your, I guess, if you have experience using a website builder before, like you being able to work on the back end of things to change images, so on and so forth, or like for example, if you go to standard editor, well, I don't want to do it on here because it's my website, but I'm sure that there's plenty of websites, WordPress tutorials out there that will show you what the standard editor is. But like I said, these are the things that are really just like about you, like really having a grasp of web design, and just if you're a legacy web designer or someone who's done web designing before, I'm sure this bodes well with you to use it. But I would say it's probably not the most efficient thing out there. A few years ago it was, and now with the revolution of AI and all that sort, it's like you got to start to really wonder and like really open up your mind. And here's the things I want to pull up. Why isn't WordPress maybe not? Why maybe WordPress might not be a good option for you? Well, here's the thing. WordPress is not beginner friendly, as I basically strongly hinted on. You got to think outside of the box oftenly, responsible for hosting, backups, security, and updates, and all that sort. And the prices are good, but like I said, when you compare the prices versus usability, you start to think, well, do I want to fiddle around with things and spend less money, or do I want to get things more done efficiently if I'm a beginner, for example, and pay more? Well, I'd rather choose the latter personally. Also, WordPress often gets bloated. Like, if you know, like, it's just, my website's in need of a renovation and all that sort, and it's just like, it's really slow. Like, if you go to Google Insights, like, there are plugins out there, don't get me wrong, but I've had experience where like if you fill it up to the brim with all sorts of things on WordPress with your website, it's insane. Like, you're gonna have such a slow internet like speed on mobile device, and everybody's on mobile. Let's be real here. Desktop is not really a thing anymore, and on top of it, oftentimes like if your load speed is not as consistent, like and quickly getting up to date, people have such short attention spans that they're just going to move on and scroll away. And Google and your SEO, which I think I talked about it. If not, I will talk about it later. It's a factor in search engine optimization. If you want to show up higher up on the Google results, you better be loading up your website fast, or else you're going to be basically in the back of the queue. And as you can see, like, performance is all right, but it's honestly, it could do a lot better. It's better on desktop, but let's be real, most of us are on our phones. We're on the go. See, look how long this is to load speed. You got a blank page right here. You got all this load speed. These are like milliseconds that people are just going to click off because we have such a short attention spans, shorter than the average goldfish attention span of 6 seconds. So this is why you won't be ranking. This is why you won't be doing as well with grabbing attention with WordPress. Another thing that might be considered is that you might have too many plugins. So plugins, as I was discussing, are like add-ons to your website. But look how many I have. It's insane. It's just too much. It bogs down the speed. It bogs down the interface, like the loading up of the interface. It's potential conflicts and like headaches to remove, and you gotta oftentimes, if you don't know what you're doing, you might have to outsource, like hire someone to help you with this in order to speed up and make your website more efficient. And like I said, it's a steep learning curve, especially for those of you newbies out there. Not to sound condescending, I just mean people who haven't been on the web design and doing all that sort. So, like I said, who should be using WordPress? It's freelancers, developers, people legacy people have been doing this for years. If you're building blogs, magazines, portfolio with lots of content, like if you're putting a lot of stuff into a website, then definitely WordPress is your option. As you can see, I put a lot of stuff on my website, and it just was better at the time to be adding so much media, so much text. But as the saying goes, most quantity doesn't get the best quality, and that's certainly the case with websites. So you don't, if you love technology, you love working like coding and all that sort, like HTML is your best friend, SQL and all that stuff, it sounds familiar to you, and you're like, yeah, I got this, then go ahead, by all means, take it. But what about all those people? And I'm going to put myself in both categories, to be honest, because I am looking to find a different interface. But what about those who don't fit that bill? Well, let's look at the other options. Oh yeah, and by the way, I didn't show you WordPress's prices. They're decent, I would say, but let's compare the ones to. I think it's on more affordable side of things, but like I said, let's compare to the other ones, which I think one of them is free, if I'm not mistaken. So Wix. Why would you want to choose Wix? Well, personally, I've seen just how much, like, it is beginner friendly. Like, you don't have to, like, go through so many tutorials and all that sort and just be, like, such a brainiac when it comes to, like, web design when you're on Wix. Like, it's such a good interface. I don't get paid to say this, by the way. It's really intuitive. It's just, like, the cons to it, I would say, is that it's often, like, unless you like this as a pro, this could be the case. It's drag and drop. It's not that much flexibility like WordPress, but it's like perfect like for like a simple website, like a mom and pop shop, like floral shop that's just showing like a few flowers that they're selling, or fast food shop, like if you're like a smaller version, a local or more localized version of In-N-Out Burger where you have a very limited menu, then definitely Wix is the place, is the setup for you. And it's like I said, it's very fast to set up. The prices though are a little bit when you compare them, they're much more expensive, I would be honest, as well. So that's one downside. But yeah, that's Wix, and you probably heard it so many commercials. So a lot of people use it, but it might not be as SEO friendly, to be quite honest, as like WordPress. What about Webflow? So Webflow, I've had very little interface, but from the connections and research that those connections have made with me, it's kind of what they've told me is like it's an all-in-one, clean, gorgeous like template setup. It's ideal like for like portfolios. If you got like, if you're like an artist or like architect and you want to set up your different works of art or your work and display, definitely that's more visual friendly for that. And it's, like I said, it's great for those of you who are more like visual, for creativity, showing instead of telling. That's what I believe it is. You got a free option, by the way, so that's the great thing about it. Like I said, I've tried it a little bit, and this is good for those of you just getting started, but really the basic is probably the best one. So it's kind of like that in between, and on a budget range. What about next one? Squarespace. So Squarespace is another popular one. It's very like, it's, I guess it's very like I said, it's for small restaurants as well. Unlike Webflow, where it's like it's more techy than Webflow. Webflow is like, but here's the thing. So Webflow is more like, it's less technologically like advanced as like WordPress, but I think it might be a little bit more than Squarespace. I might be correct. It might be arguable, to be honest, but like that's how I've perceived it in my own experience of creating websites. Like I said, I've done SEO and digital marketing for like since like 2016 now, so I have quite a fair number of years of doing this, and now I've seen the landscape change, especially during and after the pandemic, to now AI. So it's like all in one. It's great for small businesses. WordPress, what I like about Squarespace, Squarespace, what I love about Squarespace is like they're like very individualized. They're not one size fits all. So if I wanted to do like I guess a marketing company, yeah, a website. So if I wanted to, I could press next. I want to see what I want to do, sell promotions, sell services, as SEO. So like they're gonna set up some options for me right off the bat. That's one thing I do love about Squarespace. It's all in one, like I said, with the and it's very much like I said, it's for like restaurants and for like small businesses. Versus like Webflow is more like it's like a more like designer type of like architects and artists and so on and so forth. And yeah, you gotta create an account. I'll just see if I can try and do this quickly. Let me. Wait. Oops. This might take a while. Apologies if this is taking a while. Yeah, this might take a while. But anyways, you just need to enter your email address, and it should be straightforward. Oops. I just came across something. Hey guys, just had a little bit of internet disconnection. So anyways, what I was saying here is like you just pick, if you're in Squarespace, you just pick your niche and so on, and you just pick if you're a service, if you're a product provider, delivery, so on. And what's great about it is like you'll be able to just like set up a website like in no time. Just it'll give you a customized set, and it's pretty straightforward. I wouldn't really worry about it. I tried doing this so I could show you the guys, but I'm having like internet problems. So it's just very simple sell services. So if I just finish this, and then it gives you all sorts of options to like set up for email, but you gotta like create an account and so on. So that's that. So what about for example, what about Ghost? So if you know Ghost, besides Superstition, it's basically a website out there that allows a website builder that is about like blogging. Like those of you who are writers, those of you who are, well, hopefully AI isn't taking your jobs at all. Feel for you, but it's all about like being lightweight, fast, and focused on like publishing different like I guess digital books, web blogs, and so on and so forth. So that's what I said. And the pricing, it's decent. It's like in mid range. I wasn't able to get the Squarespace like pricing to show up, but on from what I've seen in the past, because it's very customized, like it could be like if you're doing like a personal, it's like $16 a month annual. If you're doing annual billing, $23 a month monthly billing. I don't know if you're doing like the personal option. There's personal, business, basic commerce, and advanced commerce. Business is $23 a month. Annual billing, basic commerce annual billing is $20 a month, and then advanced commerce is it's I believe $52 a month, and then cost of monthly is more. 33. Oh, it's 23, 33, 36, and $65 a month respectively. So you get like a 14-day trial, just an FYI, with it. So it's more on the pricier range, I would say. And versus Ghost, I'd say it's mid-range. $9 if you want to do the starter option, I would do that. This is more if you want to do more for the like if you're like you got some agency going on and all that, and you got like other people, some like I guess assistant or like digital like partner working with you on the website. Definitely this is the way to go. And then if you're hiring more people, obviously this is better. And then last but not least, Frame here is it's up and coming. It's like the new trendy kid on the block, so to speak. It's beautiful. Uh, I guess interface, modern design. It integrates AI, so that's probably its USP, unique selling proposition. That some of the other ones do it too, but this one does it to a higher level or a greater degree. It's super smooth for landing pages and setups, startups. It's great. Like if you want, like I said, load speeds, like I was showing with Google Insights. It's good. Like you could start with the mini, and I'd say it's in the lower tier of on terms of like pricing, and it's very affordable. I think it's like you get features such as like hosting all included, collaboration, publishing. So it's like all in one. You get like a good community size, so it's like almost like WordPress in that sense, and so on and so forth. A lot of security, site analytics. Um, so it's great. I would definitely, if I had to start from scratch. Okay, so I've showed you all of these. Okay, which one would you say? Well, it's not a one size fits all. Personally, if it were up to me, I would pick Framer as the best one. But what should you do? It's really up to you. If you want something fast and easy, go with Wix. Go here with Wix. It's straightforward, no learning, hardly any learning curve. Um, Also, Squarespace is great, and it's just more pricey, as well as Wix. And then you got Framer, I would say, is more affordable, and I like the AI aspect of it. But if you wanted to control more, plan, scale more, like I did with my website, I definitely would go with WordPress or even Webflow. Webflow is definitely more aligned towards that, but a little more technical, a lot more technical. So, but it's up to you. Or if you like minimalistic like content, Ghost is the best. Ghost would be the best. But yeah, uh, let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, give me, critique me on what I'm doing, and see where we go from there. If you're building a site right now, drop your goals in the comment section right now, and tell me what is it that you like. What is it like that you want to like create as a website? Because certainly there's like a lot of potential to be like growing, but you don't have to be stuck with like WordPress like it was previously. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for more content and tech creator tips. Thank you. And this is Bryce Coffee, the critiquer. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.